Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Clutch Conversations. This is a special pop-up episode of Clutch Conversations. I'm sitting chat with the homie Robyn from Redline Shipping, hashtag better off red. You know what it is. But we're getting to chop it up about Animal Con and my experiences at Animal Con this past weekend, man. So really hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and Hulk smash that notification bell so you can get notifications each and every time we drop a video here on the channel. And oh yeah, make sure you're supporting USR and USR Florida and show some love to my lovely wife Takara. Interviews up next.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor, I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter, I got the fuse. You make a fire, I'll add the fuel. Follow my lady, just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this? Who you know who looking like this for real? Who you know who looking like this?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Sitting here with Robyn from Redline Shipping. Here to chat about Animal Con. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted to catch up with you on Animal Con. I was bummed that I couldn't go. You got to go, which I'm a little bit jealous of. I went to the first one, and I had a great time. It was revelatory. It well exceeded my expectations. So I was really excited that you got to go. I know we got to have you go and essentially represent Redline as well as Herp Collectors and do some interviews. So I was really stoked that you were able to get out to the event. I thought you could get a lot of value from it. And I would love to hear some feedback from you and, a kind of a rundown of how it went for you and what you thought.
Yeah, man, it was good. First of all, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to go there, represent Redline, represent Herp Collectors. It was fun, man. So third one, my first time coming though, and talking to people who had been there before, like they really talked about the growth of Animal Con like over the last 3 years and how it started off one way. The second year it got a little bit better, and the third year it was even better. And so everyone was excited about the growth. I had a lot of fun meeting new people. It was different than a reptile show, and a reptile expo and all that, given that they had like that educational element, and it wasn't really just reptiles, right? There was like all kinds of animals, like mammals, birds, what have you. Having that different kind of setup where there's that educational value, people were there for a different reason. It was just like a different vibe. Everyone was so excited meeting some of the content creators. I know we had talked before about like your first experience, like when you met the content creators and how impressed you were with just how approachable and how nice and all that everybody was. I had that exact same experience, and everyone was just so excited about being there. Yeah.
I mean, everyone, you're a creator in your own right, and you don't have a giant head or giant ego. But I mean, did you have that experience? Were you thinking that you were going to go out there and meet a bunch of fucking TikTokers and Instagram folks that were like just egomaniacs, and it would be kind of awkward or weird, and it was different?
I really didn't know what to expect. Like, I didn't have any preconceived notions about how they would be. I just didn't know what to expect. But when I got there, everybody was just like so personable, introducing themselves, like hanging out, stuff like that. And so it was just like a real pleasant experience.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that was one of my best takeaways from the first Animal Con was, you know, to be honest, I was very judgmental going in. I thought this is going to be a terrible event. I'm going to hate this thing because I'm social at reptile shows and stuff. But I thought with all of the big, personalities, I thought it was just going to be much more abrasive and, my ego this and my ego that. And I was blown away by how humble everybody was and how eager to network and collaborate and just connect everybody was. I mean, it blew me away. That was a very, very great experience and a very positive experience. So, 3 years in, I'm glad it still has that vibe. I know we did a lot of interviews. You did a lot of interviews, but were you able to get out on the floor and network or see any of the talks, or were you at your booth the whole time, getting interviews done?
Yeah, so I was able to walk around and kind of like see what vendors were there, talk to people, network, stuff like that. The way I was set up, basically on the other side of the backdrop was like the main station where they were doing like the panels, and so it was like the main presenting room, and so I could hear a lot of like what they were saying, and so as they would be having like the breakout sessions and stuff like that, I could hear a lot of that information. So I like to call it ear hustling, and so I could hear a lot of that conversation, and I was taking down some notes. Like in some cases, it gave me like questions to ask people. Like when I interviewed Jay, like I had heard him mention like a few things. Jay Brewer, I heard him mention a few things when he was on stage, and so that was kind of like some material to talk to him about when we sat down and we had our conversation. And so I heard the presentations from that regard, like the separate breakout rooms. I couldn't really hear any of those presentations, but then I also got to walk around and like talk to the vendors, like talking to Cold-Blooded Caffeine. Obviously like US Arc was there. There were other vendors there that were selling like various products and stuff like that. There was even like a podcast conference vendor there that was there promoting like their podcast conference and stuff like that. So I did get a chance to go around and talk to a lot of different people.
That's cool. The promoters are Brian Potter and Bob Ashley from NBC, and then Lori Barczyk. And I've known all those guys for decades. But I fucking love Lori Barczyk. She's so fantastic. And of course, Brian was a dear, dear friend of mine, and I still miss him all the time. And I was stoked because I heard that you got to sit down with Lori for an actual interview. So how did that come together, and how did it go?
So shout out to Brian Potter for helping pull that one together. That interview went really well. It's funny because like afterwards I told Lori, I was like, hey, I hadn't been nervous before I interviewed someone in a long time. But you made it super easy. And she was like, I couldn't tell it all, but it was because like she made it super easy. Like getting to sit down with Lori, like someone who's been in it for so long, whose name like carries that much weight. It was a great experience. And so like I was happy to get to talk with her. She was super personable, super approachable. And it was a good interview. So really looking forward to getting that one out there to folks.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen but just a couple clips. So I'm anxious to see all of them. Lori she's fucking great people, man. She's really solid. And they've done obviously some, such great stuff in our reptile world, from breeding side to selling side to obviously social media side. And then you mentioned the other heavy hitter was Jay Brewer, Prehistoric Pets. I've known Jay for a long time. He is a personality. He's got his own energy. I don't know where he gets it from. I'm not sure if at the end of the day, like he goes back to his room or his house or whatever and just collapses. Because I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like he's high energy dude, and he's always like Mr. Excitement. Did you get that in the interview as well, or did he? Was he pretty settled down?
No, he had the energy and excitement, and that was a fun interview too. And he just talked about like coming up, some of the challenges and stuff that he had, and how he overcame those challenges, and really had to kind of like look away from people who were like telling him that he couldn't do certain things. And so like he just really talked about perseverance and sticking to your guns and just putting your head down, doing the work, and the success will come. And he talked about the whole living the dream concept and what that means to him and why he says that. And so that was pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, I would love to hear that. He and Barczyk both had, there's a little bit similar paths. You know, I remember back because Jay was doing social media stuff for a long time, and it didn't mean anything. Like it wasn't firing, you know, it was just that. It was just some content, and you know, a handful of people watched it. But he was so consistent with it over the years. Eventually, you know, he made the right moves, and he just being reliable and consistent, it caught fire. And then, you know, of course, his profiles and stuff exploded. And same with Barczyk. You know, Brian back in the day, I remember, you know, late 2000s, 2008 or 9 or whatever, maybe a couple of years before that, he started doing YouTube. And I was like, this is dumb, dude. I don't know why you're wasting your time with this. And I was just like, you think people want to see just like your everyday life at BHB? Like that? I don't think that's a thing. And he was like, no, it's a thing, and it's going to be a thing. And, you know, we got the snake bites, and it slowly built, right? But there wasn't a ton of viewers at first, but, you know, it built over time. I remember, you know, calling him and being excited with him because he'd hit 300,000 subscribers. And that was a number that we had looked at when he was like at 75 or 85,000. We're like, man, imagine you could get to like 300, 350,000 subscribers. That'd be crazy. And then, you know, I mean, it wasn't, but maybe 6 months later, he hit it. And I was like, holy shit, you're doing it, man. And then, you know, a number of years later, he hit 3 million subscribers. So that perseverance on both of those guys, because I know, you know, a lot of people dismissed it, including me at times, and didn't understand the importance or the value of it. But man, I mean, yeah, Jay's been super consistent over the years. He's developed his own style, his own content, and you know, he's turned it to be real successful. I heard, I don't know if you mentioned it in the interview or how necessarily accurate it is. I heard that he sold off his big retic collection to like an overseas collector in zoos, and maybe he's going to just focus on social media stuff. That would be interesting to know.
Oh wow, nah, I don't.
That didn't come up.
I don't think he mentioned that. I don't recall hearing that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I didn't know that at all. Period.
We'll see.
Okay.
We shall see. And then there was another Jay. Actually, there's a few Jays at Repticon. But, yeah. Jay from the Reptarian team.
Yeah.
He's also always a great chat and great personality to deal with. You got him to sit down as well, or no? I did.
Okay. Jay was one of the busiest people at the show. He was essentially like, he was all over the show. Like
was he producing? Like, was he producing the show with Lori? Like, you know, managing?
Yeah. He was helping with logistics. Okay. He gave the opening speech, and he did a good job, kind of opening up Animal Con, and he gave like some closing words too. And in between like that kind of opening and those closing words, he was all over the place, just making sure like everything ran smoothly. Like he was all over the place. And so he was super busy, but fortunately we did get a chance to sit down and chat with him for about 15 minutes or so.
Nice. How many interviews do you think you did overall? 24?
Close to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, maybe 20. Let's call it 20. Okay.
Was there, you know, in the industry side, and especially at shows, like shows right now are running kind of soft as far as sales for like snake folks, but they're still super strong on the invert side for like spiders, tarantulas and stuff. Was there decent representation on the like tarantula side of things?
Yeah, so I actually got three in terms of interviews, I got 3 interviews with folks like on the spider / tarantula side of things. So talk with Tarantula Cat, talk with Richard from the Tarantula Collective, and then also talk with Jess from House of LaSpood. And so there was definitely good representation there. And they even had like a build off where they were basically building tarantula enclosures.
Okay.
And so like they had like a timed amount. They had a time that they could do it in. They had teams and like they put together the enclosures and then they had people vote on them. So everyone was like running around trying to encourage people to vote for
my setup.
their enclosures. Exactly.
Nice. Tarantula Cat, she's solid personality. She got strong following. Jess at House of Spood, she's fantastic. I'm working with her now on producing a live auction event for any RBC show coming up. But I just did a trip with Richard from Tarantula Collective. He came out to Colorado for the Tarantula Festival. And so I got to spend some time with him, Nate from Micro Wilderness, and Tyler from Spider Shop.
Okay.
So to kind of be involved and embedded with a bunch of tarantula nerds. And we had a fun time. It was a shitty little town. It was a dusty ass little prison town in southern Colorado, but it just so happens that's where like there's thousands of tarantulas. So we did some field herping for tarantulas. There was a couple talks, and we got some decent food. But yeah, I got to hang out with him some. He seemed like a really really cool dude. I've had some exchanges like Instagram messages and I've actually bought some of his tarantula coffee. I like the promotional stuff that he, the video stuff that he does. But yeah, it was cool to hang out with the tarantula guys. And like I said, that segment of the industry is still freaking super hot. I mean, those guys are selling like hand over fist. Even at shows where snakes aren't moving well or lizards aren't moving well, man, the spider folks are slamming and just crushing it. We were at the Charlotte show. Hey, me and you were at the Charlotte show. That's right. And Exotics Unlimited was there. And Will from Exotics Unlimited and Trenton. And yeah, they crushed it. They sold the hell out of tarantulas and spiders and stuff. So yeah, that segment is still really exciting for me. So I'm glad you got to chat those folks up.
Yeah, he mentioned you. We were talking about you. He's like, yeah, man. And Robyn's got some really nice nails too.
I put on a new set recently, so I always keep it company colors for Redline. So there was a couple of other folks that you ran into that do great animals. Who was I thinking? Socrates,
yeah.
breeder, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You got to chat with him and his daughter as well, right?
Right. Yeah, him and his daughter, Ariana. And she's got a huge following on social media too. On Instagram, she's got like over 400K followers.
400,000?
400,000. Like,
holy crap!
Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, she's got a huge following.
What's her focus? Like, does animals, or she's more of a creator personality type?
Yeah, she's doing animals. Like, she's posting like some of the animals that they have and stuff like that.
Okay, I know Socrates. He works with like world class, crazy,
yeah,
incredible chondros. Yeah, we share a lot of his stuff, like Reptile Report and stuff. And I mean, not only amazing animals, but he's also actually pretty good at videos and pictures. Yeah, he can represent them in like a very stunning way. So. Yeah,
and he'll usually have like a positive message like attached to his Instagram posts.
Yep. And then wasn't Benny out there, Bionic Benny?
Yeah, that was a good talk too.
Yeah. How long did you spend with him?
Probably about 15 minutes or so.
Okay. You just did short shots with everybody?
Yeah, about 15 minutes, like roundabout for everybody on average. There were some that might have been a little bit shorter and some that might have been a little bit longer, but I would say on average about 15 minutes or so.
Okay. I like the stuff Benny's doing. He's got good lifestyle content, obviously he had his accident and lost his leg, but he also had a journey of like weight loss and fitness and stuff. And so I followed that, and he's got a really good positive outlook. So he's a good
absolutely.
Dude. And he made a really cool patch for Redline Project. He's got his own Bionic Benny patch that turned out really great. So that's cool.
Yeah. He mentioned during the interview that him and Chris Eaton will be doing a show together pretty soon.
That's right. Chris told me about that. man, I can't remember if he told me the name of it. I mean, it's like amputee related.
Yeah.
Something clever, like one leg up or something. I bet it's gonna be entertaining.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
I
good.
mean, Chris is legitimately nuts. He has his own approach and a very cynical approach at times. You got to love him. And yeah, I think the two of them, I'd be interested in seeing that. I don't know have they started recording yet. Maybe sometime soon they're going to start. But yeah, I'm down to check that out. I like Benny and I love Chris. He did we had the Redline road trip promo recently, and he did Redline road trip B squad for us.
Yeah,
So
that was pretty funny.
He didn't make the A squad team with Steven and Shane, but he kind of, he was in the also ran the runner up division. Yeah, so we had a lot of fun with that, and he's always a good sport. So yeah, I'm looking forward to their show. I know a lot of the folks you're talking about are Redline shippers, and I appreciate that. But you also did Garrick, the Retic guy, right? And he is an SYR guy through and through.
He is.
But he's still interesting, and he's a great dude. I've known him for a long time, and has some really cool animals. They had Reach Out had a really great booth last year at Tinley. I mean, they have it every year. It's like a whole end cap, and it's like wood, like it's like built, like a built booth. And I'm sure at Tinley they're going to have the same setup, but they have obviously amazing retics, and Garrett and his team come out. Yeah, he's an interesting dude. He doesn't ship with me, but that's okay. I can still support him and his retic stuff. And his social media stuff is good too. But good conversation with him.
Yeah, that was a pretty good conversation too. Yeah, I saw their booth because I went to Tinley in 2022 and saw like how their booth was set up, and it was pretty cool. It was definitely interesting. It was like in the back corner.
Yeah. It's always in the back. You go in, you enter in the door, and it's far left corner. It's hard to describe if you don't have a picture or you haven't seen it, but it's not like tables, right? They get rid of all the tables, and it's like built out wooden enclosures. It kind of looks like a building in a way, like an outside of a building.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's really cool. I mean, and they obviously put a lot of time and money into the production and build of it. So I always love when people do something interesting and artistic and put some money into their presentation and stuff. So he always does a nice job. So
yeah, okay, Garrett talked about like some new projects and things that he was working on, and he also mentioned that his wife like just got a new alligator.
Okay,
that was pretty funny.
So
like we all made a video basically like because I guess she was kind of on the fence about like whether or not it was a good idea to have this animal, and so like he went around and we all made videos congratulating her on her new pickup.
Congratulations, new alligator. That's a big bite, no pun intended. Yeah, I mean that's a big commitment cage wise and husbandry wise, but hey, good for them. I mean, that's a neat animal, and they can get super tame.
Yeah.
So, that's a positive as well, but they can also get super big, and that can be very challenging. I've been to some of the, alligator, like outdoor alligator setups in like Florida and stuff. I go to visit Camp Kennan.
Okay.
And, he takes me to some of his buddies in the, near Jupiter area that have like outdoor alligator pens and stuff. And it's impressive. I mean, there's some big animals in there. Yeah.
They had some caimans at Animal Con. They had some like baby crocs and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. I think they were like maybe 3 or 4 tables down from where I was set up at. They had a bunch of different animals at Animal Con. They had skunks. There was a water buffalo on the first day.
Okay, that can't be true. I mean, a water buffalo seems like a big animal, so you must be.
It was a big ass water buffalo.
You sure it's not like a dog that had some horns on it?
Because I was looking down, right? Because it was while I was setting up, and out of the corner of my eye, I see what looks like a huge animal walking by, and so I look up and I'm in shock for like a second or two, and I forget to pick up my phone. And so like the picture that I got of it is just like it like walking away and like too far away from him, because I was like, I couldn't believe I just saw that. It wasn't there for very long. The hotel people didn't know. Yeah, the hotel people didn't know that there was going to be a water buffalo, and so it wasn't there for very long. I think there was a camel too that
See, now
didn't
you're just
make it inside.
You can't just make stuff up, dude.
It was a
You don't
camel.
have any proof. You don't. It's like a UFO. You don't have
I got
any
the water
pictures.
buffalo.
Yeah, you have a picture and it's like all furry and fuzzy in the distance. You're like, that's a water buffalo, and it's totally not. It's probably Brian Potter in a dark colored shirt. That's not. You didn't see a water buffalo in a hotel. In a hotel in Florida, you did not see a water buffalo, and then
that's how I felt.
That's not possible.
That's why it
it's
took
not
me so long
possible
to get the picture, because I was like, I'm not seeing a water buffalo in a hotel in Florida.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell Brian Potter you called him a water buffalo.
But that was pretty funny.
That's possible to be true, but
it's cool.
But then again, I guess it is Florida, so you never know.
You never know, man. Never know what the Florida man will do.
That's you're not lying there. Okay, well, outside of your your UFO fantasies, water buffaloes and camels, you were probably low on carbs or something. You probably didn't eat lunch. You were like hallucinating. You need to have a power bar or something to get you back on track. That's kind of wacky. So Brian Potter is the one of the promoters, and I heard you did get to sit down with him as well.
I did, and Brian was super helpful too, in kind of like helping coordinate some of the interviews and getting me linked up with certain folks, and so that was clutch for real. Yeah,
he's a great networker. He knows everybody in the business, and obviously he can put people together, and that has a ton of value. He didn't say anything wacky during his interview.
I don't call anything wacky.
Okay, he can get out of line pretty quick sometimes.
If he would have came in black, he was pretty tame.
Could have been a very different type of interview.
He
starts telling stories about his years in the Philippines.
I'm pretty sure we talked about the water buffalo though, me and Brian.
Okay. I'm gonna text him after this and ask him, and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?" It's not a thing. I can tell you though, I reached out to Potter, and in order to say, hey, can we maybe get this guy interviewed or that girl interviewed, and so he can help make these connections for us. And then he texted me back once, and he was like, I just sat down with Mike and had an interview, and I said, oh, cool, that's great. And man, he had nothing but glowing things to say about you.
I appreciate that.
He said Mike is a pro. He said he is so good. I'm so glad he came out. Yeah, he's crushing it. He sat down with tons of people, and he kept telling me how great you were and what a great job you were doing. So, congratulations on that. I think you really represented well. I'm glad you got to meet so many folks and get such great content. I can't wait to see it. I'm not sure what your schedule is. Oh man, it would be so annoying if you just barely put it out every so often over the next year and a half. And made us just tease it, right? Like what if it's 2026 before we get to see the Lori Barczyk interview? That would be lame. I would like to see it sooner than later. But I don't know what is your schedule for getting all these things out?
Yeah, so I'll be working on those in the coming weeks, and I'll probably release it to you piecemeal. I won't wait till I get the whole thing. As I get some, I'll send over some. We can give you time to get those posted on the channel. We'll take a look at them first, see if everything works out for you. Okay. Give you time to get those posted on the channel, and in the background, I'll be working on some more. Then I'll send you over another tranche of them, and just do it like that. That way, constantly feeding you something, and can still work on the others in the background. But
I
make sure you prioritize the Lori.
Okay,
and you can wait on
some I really want to see Potter. I'm not a big, I don't really care about algorithms and schedules and stuff. I just like to get the content up there. So yeah, if you send them to me, I'm going to throw them all up, let people check them out. So I'm excited about it. And again, great job. I heard from other people aside from Potter that, how well you did, and they really enjoyed meeting you and sitting down with you. So yeah, congratulations, man. Thank you for going. I wasn't able to go, and you really helped save the day on being there and representing for us and getting some great interviews and content. So I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, in the end, congratulations. I think you killed it, and you impressed a lot of people. And hopefully you made some good connections that you can use for your Herp Collectors adventure and moving forward as well.
Thank you, man. And again, I really appreciate the opportunity. It was a ton of fun. I've been super excited to get there, and I was super excited when I got there. And definitely, if the opportunity is there, I'd like to go again.
Yeah, are you down for next year?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
Okay, well, when you come back from next year's show and you try and bullshit the people that you saw an elephant, you need to have a photo, because nobody here believes that you saw a water buffalo. I'm just saying. That's not a real thing, but yeah, next year you'll be like, yeah, we saw a manatee and they had it in a tank. Yeah, okay, whatever.
This is Florida, so you might see a manatee. It's not in the hotel.
I guess so. Well, okay, then you're going to say you saw Bigfoot. And all I've got is a fuzzy picture of him running away from 100 yards.
It's right there. You don't see it?
Okay. Just be like, no, that was Jay Brewer. Yeah. I got you. All right. Well, cool. Thanks for running it down for me. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to see these interviews, and I think other people will really enjoy them as well. So, yeah, thanks again for going, bud.
No problem. Thank you. Take care. Thanks, everyone.
I step up in the spot, they know the deal. Chillin' with that thrill, from the bottom to the top. I'm the king of the hill, still eyes on me. Feel the heat, it's a thrill feel. Got that shine in my hand, man, it's giving them chills. Still they wanna taste, they wanna see what's in my sleep. Believe, got that fire in my grip. Yeah, they need the fiend, no counterfeit, no tricks. Just the realest thing, pure and uncut. Got them down, dropping to your knees, freeze. It's that glass, baby, crystal clean, pristine. Make you wanna dive deep like you living in a dream. Got them hooked on the vibe like an addicted fiend. This that glass, baby, you know what I mean. In the night it glows, whole place lit, can't quit. Every eyes on me, they can handle this shit. Hit, feel the rush, feel the push. Yeah, it's too legit bliss. Once you get a taste, ain't no way you'll quit this. Pure like the rain, cold like the snow. Yo, they crave for the touch, yeah, they wanna know. Though, what's the secret mojo? Got that perfect glow, you know. Take a hit of this life, let your worries go slow, slow. That glass, baby, crystal clean, pristine. Make you wanna dive deep like you living in a dream. Got them hooked on the vibe like an addicted fiend. This that glass, baby, you know what I mean. They come from miles around just to get a glimpse. Whispering in the dark, making deals with pimps. Got that high grade shit, make the whole world limp. Glimpse, I'm the dealer of dreams, call me the main event set. Ain't no fakes, ain't no lies, it's the realest deal. Chill, got them looking for that glass, yeah, they love to feel real. I'm the plug, I'm the source, got that golden seal. This that glass, baby, now you know it's real. This that glass, baby, crystal clean, pristine. Make you wanna dive deep like you living in a dream. Got them hooked on the vibe like an addicted fiend. This that glass, baby, you know what I mean. In the end, they all come back, craving more and more. Once you get a taste, ain't no closing that door. I'm the king of the game, hear the lion roar. This that glass, baby, and it's what you're here for. In the end, they all come back, craving more and more. Once you get a taste, ain't no closing that door. I'm the king of the game, hear the lion roar. This that glass, baby, and it's what you're here for.
Subscribe, follow, rate, and then review.